How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Oh, almost forgot to turn on the mic there. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another episode of TraderPrad Show. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend. You guys saw me yesterday if you were here for the Sunday episode where we got to see all things coming up for this week. All the earnings names, FOMC. We got to plan for a little bit for today, but sadly, I woke up with a little bit of pain in my leg and I just couldn't make it to work. I said, you know what, I'm going to take it easy. I slept a little awkwardly on my leg last night and woke up with quite a bit of discomfort. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to give myself the right thing to do over here, which is give it some rest, because the rest of the week is very hot. We want to be ready for the rest of the week. We want to be able to take advantage of all things coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So stood home, watched the market from the shadows, and got to watch my plays that I called out yesterday work out, such as the Google short through 169.50 or the Roku long if it's holding above 56, most of which we'll talk about one more time. We'll look to see if any trade opportunities show up again for us to take advantage of tomorrow, and let's hope that I don't sleep awkwardly again on my leg and I ruin my sleep and I don't mess up my leg a little bit more. So let's hope for all the right things and look for all the advantages that we can take from the market, the inefficiencies that we could kind of fill in and take advantage of and make some sweet little dollar for ourselves. But in that meantime, why don't you let me know how your day went in the chat. Let me know who's all in the chat at the moment. I'm going to take a look at the chat over here. Think with Bookmap saying first, what's up, Alex? How you doing, brother? TH, Dieter, Corey, Ani, everyone's in the chat. I love to see it. How you guys doing today? Hopefully you guys had a good day. I know Ani doesn't really trade, but hopefully you had a good day. Prad Ramsey, that's right. Gordon Ramsay or Gordon Pradsy. Does that sound better? Prad Ramsey? Prad Ramsey sounds pretty good. I'll take Prad Ramsey. Oh my god, I've had a broken ankle for a month. You see me complaining about it, but you also self-medicate yourself with alcohol. So that's something that maybe I should do, but I try to stay away from that. But no, the knee is quite a bit of an issue. Quite a bit of an issue apparently. I thought it would be better than it is, but it's not. As if you don't. I don't self-medicate with alcohol the way you do, okay? Alcoholic. But no, all fun and games over here. I hope your ankle gets better, and I pray my ankle stops messing around with me. Jesus, my ankle. Only drank over the weekend. Sure, buddy, sure. What's up, Victoria? How you doing? Hopefully you had a good day yourself too. Thank you for wishing the chat and myself a good day. Currently watching the Boston Celtics. As you guys can see, I got my Boston Celtics hat on. You know, as a Toronto guy, you're not supposed to support Boston in any means. Not in NBA, not in NHL, especially in NHL when they're beating us again. Boston is now up 3-1 in the series, and tomorrow we have our game 5 away game, so most likely losing round 1 over there. But hey, Boston, not really supporting them, but I had this hat from a long time in the day. Toronto Raptors are not in the NBA, so might as well rock my Boston hat at the moment while the team is playing the game. For anyone wondering, it's first quarter, 19 seconds left. Boston up by 12 points. 34-22 is the score. But most of you are here for the stock market conversations. So why don't we dive in and talk about all things on our watch list for tomorrow, the stocks that are reporting, and where are the inefficiencies that we can possibly take advantage of. So I'm going to bring you guys to the full screen. And right off at the full screen, you guys can see over here, ooh, my camera is missing. So let me quickly turn off the animation transitions and turn back on the camera. Awesome. So right over here in front of your screen, as you guys can see, these are all the stocks that are highly anticipated for tomorrow off the open. You got stocks such as PayPal, Eli Lilly, McDonald's, 3M, Coca-Cola. Looking at McDonald's a little bit, obviously Coca-Cola, McDonald's, 3M are all boomer positions. They rarely give you any sort of crazy move for us to take advantage of. But recently these stocks, especially 3M and Coca-Cola, have been moving around with the whole Ozempic and so on. And then McDonald's, after their earnings report came out, they kind of blasted off. Right here you can kind of see the McDonald's chart. McDonald's giving you a little bit of a range into the all-time high, currently trading under that range support, apparently under 278. But as they report tomorrow pre-market, that will be interesting. Eli Lilly over here into $700. PayPal has been on a little bit of a decline for quite some time now. That one's interesting. Coca-Cola pushing back into a little bit of a resistance. We're watching forward to see how that stock reports tomorrow. Sadly, most of these stocks report tomorrow pre-market. No stocks that really report in the after hours excite me at all. Maybe Paramount, but not really. SoFi today reported. They flushed the downside. Domino's reported today. They had a little bit of a move to the north side and then gave up slightly off that move, but they moved to a new all-time high. So shout out to Domino's Pizza. ON Semiconductors, they also moved up slightly, but no big trade over there. The main trade that I kind of would have taken if I been to work was that failure to get above yesterday's high on Google, which is exactly what we talked about on yesterday's stream. We talked about this trade extensively for Google. If Google failed to stay above 169.50, we're looking for that short. And right off the open, you can see how the stock tries to reclaim this 169.50 area and is unable to do so on the starting 5 minutes. You could have basically taken the opening range 5-minute breakout or waited for the stock to pull back into the opening range 5-minute or even the open. Where do we open at today? 169. And you can see how just before 169, just shy of 169, the stock pulls back into, rejects, and sells off into a beautiful move to the downside today, all the way into $165. So that risk to reward was very tight. Possibly you had to get in around 168.50. Looks like that's where most of the liquidity was, and you're giving it about $1 risk up to yesterday's low, or maybe slightly above today's open. Today's open would probably be where your soft stop is. Yesterday's low is where your hard stop is. You're giving it about $1 risk for more than $1 reward, and the stock does end up paying you out with that reward. So shout out to anyone who watched my notes yesterday or were watching the stream yesterday and took advantage of this trade. Beautiful opportunity over there on Google. Looks like it wants to gap fill. After making that insane run up after breaking out on the good earnings report, looks like it wants to gap fill, pull back over here, and we'll possibly see some buying back into 160. Currently, Google is right into the earnings anchored VWAP, so we'll see maybe if Google's earnings anchored VWAP gives it some support, kind of like what Meta did for quite a bit of time over here on its last earnings report. Not this recent one, its last earnings report, where it found support every single time to the north side above it. But Meta right now finding resistance off of its recent earnings anchored VWAP and pushing right back to the downside, looks like, is META. But this is talking about our call outs from last night. I think Roku was another big call out that we called out yesterday at $56. $56 hold or a break through 56 could give you either opportunity to the long side or a short through that. The fact that the stock never really gets below 56 or even close to 56, you can see how it pops right off the open, pulls back a little bit, bounces right off of yesterday's anchored VWAP, and then continues going back up. So clearly lots of support into this $56 area. They don't want to see it crumble, and the report really wasn't that bad either, so it makes sense why it's not really pushing down under 56 just yet. Maybe if the market gets a little bit weaker, then Roku could crumble, and we'll see if FOMC or Amazon or Apple's earnings report can help that market move to the downside, all of which are this week. Tuesday after hours, Amazon, Apple, Thursday after hours, and then Wednesday 2 o'clock we have the FOMC interest rate decision, all of which are very important this week. So let's see how those opportunities set up for us to take advantage of. Now, coming back to maybe we just show you a little bit more of tomorrow's earnings that are a little bit more important, because we got Amazon after hours, obviously, but AMD, Supermicro. Last time Supermicro reported, they blasted off to the north side and they took other AI-based stocks with it. They took other semiconductor stocks along with it. So that's going to be obviously on watch tomorrow. Starbucks, a little bit of a company that used to be very popular back in the day in the day trading realm, but not as popular these days. We'll see if Starbucks gives you some opportunities, but more importantly, Riot and Pinterest. Whenever Pinterest reports, that gives you some good trades, but Riot, because of the whole cryptocurrency sector, and the same with the cryptocurrency sector on Thursday after hours, we got Coinbase and Block, both of which report in the same time. So we're going to be watching how all of these stocks helps us give us any sort of trades coming throughout the week. And if you're interested in the whole sports betting and so on, DraftKings reporting Thursday after hours. Qualcomm, another semiconductor stock. Carvana, a squeeze stock over there that recently insanely had a blast to the north side, so we're watching if Carvana can have a little bit of craziness on Wednesday after hours for us to take advantage on Thursday. And for Momo, we got Pfizer and Moderna. Obviously, Momo loves those positions. Maybe even add CVS into that basket for her. Mostly she talks about only Pfizer and Moderna and Ford. So we'll see if she shows up somewhere in the shadow realm. If you say Momo 3 times in the mirror, she will show up for sure. Be careful. Be very careful. When resident alcoholic roll in Discord. Yo, I don't know, I'm busy, okay? But whenever I get some time, you can get it. I've been really busy this whole goddamn week, learning how to make these. Ooh, feels better now. I can put, this is my nice little ice pack that I'm putting on my knee. I've been learning how to make a lot of these posts that you guys see me posting on Instagram now. Where is Instagram? Where I can show you two on Twitter too, because they're the exact same posts. But these posts that I've been editing, I've been learning quite a bit. I've been very busy learning how to use AI, learning how to use editing tools. Some of them were AI, but now I'm actually doing it myself manually, which takes a lot more time out of my life. Where is it? Was this the... No, that's me right now live. Lol. Yeah, this. Editing videos like this Takes a lot of time out of my life now. I'm very busy, okay? Very busy. Let's see if it pays out in the future. More viewers will be amazing. But talking about tomorrow's earnings, let's go to see what earnings whispers are saying that the most anticipated are in terms of, I guess they're expecting based on options. Not sure what they're expecting these or basing these off of. But here are some of the other names that you might be interested. I don't really see anything that I might be interested in off of the charts. Maybe Sirius XM, but yeah, I'm not looking for a trade really on Sirius XM. 3M already on the watch list along with McDonald's, Eli Lilly, and PayPal. Looking at the top of the list over here, we got stocks such as Marathon Oil, HSBC Bank, you got General GE Healthcare, their aerodynamics, is that how you say it? Is it aero what's this, aerospace? Is that the sector that they're in now? GE Aerospace, yeah. So aerospace already reported, but their healthcare sector is going to report tomorrow if you're interested in that one. I think this one should be also another semiconductor company, if I remember correctly. ADM? No, it's not. Agriculture, commodities, and milling. And they have a nice little, I guess, range for a gap close over here. Archer Daniels. I remember trading them. You can clearly see I have some technicals over here mapped out for these guys, but not sure how interesting they will be for a possible trading opportunity, but something to possibly keep an eye out for. Oatly, I remember trading them way back in the day. For sure don't care about them at now in the dollar range or so. Corning Glass, for some of you who have Android phones, you might be using a Corning Glass product right now, so maybe that one's interesting for you over there. Gorilla Glass, I remember, I guess maybe that's not Gorilla Glass. Was Corning Gorilla Glass? I can't remember if that's what their product name was. Either way, they make glass products, so pretty good glass products. High brand overall. I remember trading them back in the day too. Restaurant Brands International, that one's a pretty high name overall also. I think they own, I'm gonna have to guess at the moment. Wendy's? No, Tim Hortons. Yeah, if they own Tim Hortons, they own Wendy's also. Right? They bought Popeyes? Jeez. Pretty sure Tim Hortons was part of... Wendy's. Not? Who are you owned by? You're owned by yourself? I thought Tim... Oh. Okay, yeah, so I was right. Tim Hortons was part of Wendy's and they spun it off into their own chain. Gotcha. Wonder why they did that. And why isn't... So basically Wendy's owns... Huh. So I guess they don't own Tim Hortons anymore, and Restaurant Brands now owns Tim Hortons, and Wendy's is now their own company. They lost control of Tim Hortons, and then Tim Hortons ended up becoming their own almost entity, and then they ended up buying over Burger King and Popeyes. So that's pretty big for Tim Hortons. Let's go, Tim Hortons. Woohoo. Let's go, Canada. Boeing took off today, says TH. Let's go take a look at that. Nice move on Boeing. Okay. Nice move on Boeing, reclaiming last week's low, reclaiming last week's high, and pushing right back to the north side, almost pushing back into that double bottom where we rejected right off on the earnings day. Pretty surprising reversal on Boeing, 3.75% up today. Looks like Boeing's engines are getting ready to take off again. Those Rolls-Royce engines are spinning right now. So we'll see if Boeing can start reclaiming some of its loss, some of its value, and push back up. That's a pretty good move. Shout out to Boeing. Okay, maybe Boeing is not as short anymore, TH. We got to be careful. That volume is kind of peaking back above the 20-day moving average also. So maybe Boeing will start picking up volume also. Not sure if there was any big catalyst for itself. Let's go see anything happen on Boeing. Boeing scores a $10 billion bond financing and a much needed liquidity boost. Boeing taps into debt markets to raise $10 billion. Equity markets raise with key earnings, Fed decisions in focus. Those were the top three highlights for Boeing. Obviously, the main highlight being $10 billion funding coming into Boeing over there. So that's a pretty big move overall. $10 billion of extra money for them to spend on maybe QA, which will be very good. You need some quality assurance, clearly. So maybe spend a little bit of that on there and not just pocket all that $10 billion and walk away with that money, right? So we'll see what happens, Boeing, how they spend it, how they use it. And clearly, apparently, the title says they need liquidity. Maybe they do. We don't really know. I don't know. Maybe they do, right? But the whole point is, if Boeing is starting to make this type of move back to the upside, we can possibly have some opportunities over here as Boeing wants to reclaim that level that it's, or at least some of the value that it's given up not too long ago. Shout out to Boeing. Shout out to Boeing. Not really on my watch list, but possibly could add it to my watch list. Mainly on my watch list for tomorrow, which we'll bring in right now, are the main stocks that we always love watching, with a little bit of a hint of the earnings names for tomorrow. SoFi, not really too excited for this one. However, it did push into a $7 area, which looks like an absolute bottom on SoFi. If you look at on the daily chart, clean bottom on the SoFi, not too far under 7. Can the stock really push under? Apparently, looks like even 650 could act like a little bit of a bottom. Positive earnings report, 186% beat on EPS, another positive earnings report overall, and still sadly pushing to the downside, which is a sad move. But $7 support coming into play, giving you a little bit of a bounce off of that. If 7 can hold again, possible longs. If 7 can't hold, maybe we can see some sell-offs and all the way back into 650, but not really too excited to really look at SoFi tomorrow. I think we're continuing to watch for the opportunities on Google. Even Tesla had a monster reversal today back to the upside. Nvidia launched up again today. So we're watching all these trades. Sorry, I almost had to sneeze. We're watching all these trades every single day as they recently reported, right? So Google reported, Microsoft reported, Meta reported, Tesla reported. We're waiting to see how Apple and Amazon report this week, and then Nvidia is going to possibly report in another week or two. That's going to be interesting to see how that happens. AMD reports tomorrow after hours. That's going to set up for some opportunities. So basically, we don't need to dilly-dally with the boomer stocks at the moment, because we're actually having some opportunities on stocks such as Microsoft with a slight little reversal today. Nvidia, pretty good move right back to the upside. Tesla, monster breakout to the upside today. 15% move on Tesla today. Oh my god, I said there was going to be so much walls for Tesla to walk into. Tesla said, yeah, we're going to break all of the walls and just run right into $200. So crazy move on Tesla. Meta pulling back today. We talked about that very slightly earlier on the show. Looks like that 450 area, looks like that 450 area is looking like a wall again, right? We're not even able to pull back into 450. Looks like 445, 446 is already seeing some selling. The earnings anchored VWAP coming in at 448.50, 447 area. So clearly Meta selling off from there, and mainly Google. Usually not a fun stock to trade, but that clear sell off under Friday's low, taking it right into that earnings anchored VWAP. Now we're waiting to see if some support comes into that low from today, or do we continue looking to close that gap? Another $5 move on Google to the downside, whose ATR is basically $5, 477, basically a $5 ATR. If Google's not even able to hold 165 tomorrow, which is exactly today's low, we're looking to see if we can give that nice little gap close. Well, technically the gap close is $10 away, but I'm saying gap close going into last all-time high right into $160 will be a good enough of a move for me to watch and see if we can get that opportunity to play with. So watching Google without a doubt tomorrow, very, very important for me, and one of the most higher priority stocks on the day tomorrow. And any pullbacks right back into that 169.50, 170 area, I'm going to continue watching to see how the stock reacts. Don't think we actually have the opportunity to fly all the way back there tomorrow and reject off of there, mainly because FOMC on Wednesday. Very rare do we see that the market make a crazy move on a Tuesday before the FOMC date, you know, have crazy volatility behind it. So I'm gonna be careful looking for opportunities like that. You can get opportunity like that on FOMC day around 2 o'clock, around or even on Thursday. So expecting that would not be out of the picture. But tomorrow, even on FOMC day, on Wednesday itself, going into 2 o'clock, the market usually starts slowing down a little bit more. The volume slows down. People start lightening up their positions. They don't really want to hold that full size that they might have earlier going into that 2 o'clock rate decision. So people will be very careful. And because of that, I don't think we might see a lot of craziness happening. But if Google wants to continue closing this gap, we want to be ready to take that advantage. Google, 100% in the picture. Tesla with a monster move now. So this double top where Tesla has previously found some resistance into is exactly today's low, that 184.50. So waiting to see if that bottom from today gets respected again and we find some support right into that 184.50 area, or even pull back below 184.50 right into last week's high and find some support above last week's high or into last week's high on Tesla. So putting Tesla as a high priority trade tomorrow. And the first supportive area, obviously 184.50, as I just mentioned. That's going to be S1. Delete. Okay, S2 will be somewhere between last week's high. So let's quickly grab the last week's high number, which is 172.12. If we give up 184.50, honestly, there might not be a long tomorrow. We might have to be careful because it might just pull back into this range to find some support. But if we hold 184.50 and we're unable to get under 184.50, then there's a clear long right back through today's high, most likely right back to 200, because Tesla was humongous move today, 15%. So under 184.50, sorry, I'm gonna watch for that 172 area. However, I don't really want to play in the middle of these ranges to guess where the support's gonna come in. If I see a clear 5-minute holding pattern or a clear bottom or some sort of a capitulation bottom on the way down towards 174, 172, then I might play with that area. But before that, I want to just wait for 172 to come in. So those are my two areas of play to the downside, and now we also need to watch out for the areas to the upside. You can see how this little gap high kind of played as a little bit of a resistance. Let's actually go to the 5-minute chart and see how that level comes into play. We actually closed right into that level, and that area came into play in the pre-market too. So looking to see if this 193 zone, 193 area acts as some sort of a resistance, then we obviously have that 200, and then above 200 we have that 205. So a little bit of a wiggle room, honestly. 193 to 200 is almost the stock's ATR. It's a $10 move. ATR for the stock is the $7 move. The stock has a $10 ATR. So 193 to 200, you honestly, it's dumb to say it's a whole range for you to expect resistance in there, but there is this whole level now that we're kind of watching how Tesla reacts between 193 and not just 200 all the way up to 205.60, right? You're seeing if Tesla can find some sort of resistance in this whole pocket of an area to see if selling can come back in for us to maybe join a little bit of a reversal back down. But at the moment that we're seeing, we're only looking for kind of longs and possibly areas where the stock can find a little bit of a wall into, and the first wall could be 193. You can kind of use 193 as your inflection area, 190 as your inflection area, and use S1 as 200 and S2 as that 205 area, which is what I'm going to do actually. Now that I said that out loud, it makes my notes look a little bit cleaner for myself when I'm looking at it tomorrow. So I'm going to use this 190 to 193 area as an inflection area where I'm very interested to see how Tesla plays out in the zone for us to react to it. Tesla $50, says Momo. Here comes Momo. I told you guys, you say her name 3 times, she shows up. Surprisingly, she didn't show up when we were talking about Pfizer or Moderna earlier in the stream. Tesla to $50, however, she says. I mean, hey, you were not that far out. Maybe, you know, $100-ish or so out from that low not too long ago, but you're pretty far out now. But I will keep wishing you luck, Momo, on your anti Elon bandwagon. Anti-Elon campaign. Quickly, I want to go back to Google because I want to put some resistance areas for watch on Google. Clearly, that 169.50 is one of the resistance that we're going to have to watch out for. Yesterday's low and today's high. So $169.50. Today's low as support as S1, S1 165, and then above R1 169.50. I'm gonna look for R2 into that all-time high now, which is what, 174.71. So basically 174.71/175 as my next resistance above 169.50 or 170 basically. And S1 is 165, and under S1, S2 we're basically watching 160, and then S3 is going to be that full gap close into 156.50 area on Google to the downside. Let's go see if Amazon looks like a little bit of a trade opportunity. No, that's a turn off. I mean, Amazon will set up tomorrow after hours, so we'll take a look at that 100%. Apple will set up for us on Thursday after hours, so we can take a look at that then. But Microsoft recently reported not too long ago, broke that 400 area, looked a lot weaker, but then with the earnings report bounced right back up, found a little bit of resistance right back into last week's high, and now is looking to find support one more time into that 400 397 area. So you could watch Microsoft, but Microsoft's almost a turn off, not the cleanest setups over here in my opinion. It's almost like the C setup just based on the daily chart because of how the stock looks on the daily chart. So not the cleanest trades, and I think Google and Tesla are way more volatile with a lot more volume at the moment. I mean, maybe not Google sitting at 19 million, Microsoft sitting at 19 million. Google actually had 45 million, so I am right. Google, and then Tesla obviously 100 million. Without doubt, 100 million, 243 million today actually. So insane amount of volume on Tesla today, and that notional value for Tesla also possibly the highest on the day. Let's go take a look at how much could that be. 194.05 times 243,737,000 equals $47 billion worth of Tesla basically traded today, an insane volume overall. So shout out to Tesla for bringing in that much amount of money. My God, Tesla short the pops. Momo is just anti-Elon. I love it. Anti-Elon. Newberry, how many times are you going to open the same game and close it? What the hell is wrong with you? How do I change this guy's name? I need to change his name so he doesn't get mad at me. Manage, change name. Yando. Yando. Lando. Alright, Lando. That's good. We'll call him Lando. Yeah, because it's an inside joke. Lando Norris. He's 5-1. We should probably watch him, see how he's playing. He's probably playing horrible, let's be real. And he's probably shadow watching right now. He said he watches my streams in the background sometimes. What a cool guy. I appreciate him. What a good friend. Alright, coming back to the stock market and our watch list. Stocks that now report tomorrow pre-market, such as PayPal. PayPal with a little bit of a disappointing move not too long ago. We were like, what, $180, $310, now at $60. So PayPal has been destroyed, right? So we're waiting to see if PayPal can reclaim some of its glory, and for that we would love to see an insane pop to the north side. Let me actually log in over here on one of my accounts so we can get the options expected moves on some of these stocks that are reporting tomorrow after, pre-market, such as starting with PayPal. So let's go see what PayPal's expected AI expected options moves. Shout out to Options AI over here to help us out with these numbers. They're saying a 9.1 expected move off their earnings, a pop up to 73%, or a drop down to around $61 coming into play off of their earnings move in the pre-market. So 9.1, their last earnings move was about 12.7%. Before that was 12.3%. A little bit of a nothing burger move, I guess, compared to all of these moves over here. 6.5% to the upside, but 11.2% to the downside. So obviously when they were dropping, it's a window to the downside, but you know, a little bit of an escalator or staircase to the upside. So slow moves to the upside, but a big move to the downside. Let's hope that that reverses and we actually get that 9% move that we're expecting over here. If it's a good enough of a report, then the stock might jump all the way up to $73. So let's see it where $73 looks like. I mean, this chart's so atrocious that we have to zoom in so much to see where 73 is. 73 comes right into this area's high. So if that can play out, and you can see how much of trading the stock did into that area and then sold off. So you could see some amount of shorts, and if that shorts get busted, if we get above these areas where stops could possibly be into, then the stock could really have some action to the north side. But if we're not testing these shorts, if we're not, you know, squeezing some of these stops over here, then the stock might just be a nothing burger, reject from this area and push back down, which could give you a short intraday. So that could give you a trade opportunity over there. So we'll watch how the stock behaves into $76, $75 or so as we push back into the upside on some sort of a positive earnings report, and on a negative earnings report, possibly not even trading this position tomorrow. It's gonna, you know, go back down into $61, which is right back into last week's low, and then maybe even break back under that and start going even lower. So PayPal, possibly something to watch if it starts squeezing the shorts and starts pushing back above $75, $76 or so by breaking those stops. The next stock reporting tomorrow pre-market, Eli Lilly, LLY. For some of you guys, this stock might be a turnoff because obviously $700 position, but that higher notional value of the stock might just give you a better opportunity, a little bit of a you know, a big spread for you to punch in and punch out right away. Sometimes you get those opportunities, or if you're looking for that swing trade opportunity on these trades too, you might have to give it, you know. What the hell is they're cooking in my house? It's killing me. I'm choking on the spices that's floating around in the air over here. Indian homes, man, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I got spices choking up in my throat right now. But Eli Lilly, you're gonna have to give it about $3 to $4 worth of risk, maybe. Let's say if you're getting in on some sort of a pop into VWAP, you might give it $3 $4 worth of risk based on your entry, but you're expecting maybe $6. How much is Eli Lilly's ATR? $17.23, right? So you're possibly looking for a big $5, $10 worth of reward, and you're not quickly looking for that quick in and out on this trade if it plays out like that. So obviously you want to be patient on Eli Lilly. It's not a very momentum stock that you might want to trade with. So you're watching how the stock trades, if it sells off the open, how it trades on some sort of a pullback into VWAP. Is it selling off of VWAP? And then you might get a little bit of an action to play with on Eli Lilly. So watching this $700 stock, which is expected to give us a 5% move up to $775, or a move right into $700 to the downside, just slightly under 700, which is 699 30. Did it say 30? Yeah, 699.39, 699.40. So we'll see how Eli Lilly plays out. Another position very interesting tomorrow. Along with that one, we got Triple M, making a little bit of a reversal. Shout out to them, I guess. You know, they've been dealing with a lot of their own problems. They've been dealing with the judge's decision on some device. I forget what device they made, a hearing aid of some sort, if I remember correctly, for the military members that wasn't functioning properly. They paid quite a bit of a price for that. I mean, 3M, for how long they've been existing, this company has a no PE. They don't make money, so that's pretty crazy. Their forward PE is 10, awesome, but right now they don't make money, so it's almost like, okay, what's going on? They do give out dividends, $1.51 in dividend. Their earnings have been somewhat wonky from all the problems that they've been dealing with. They've lost a lot of value, obviously, but let's see if 3M's glory is coming back into play. I mean, they make everything and anything and everything out there in the world, so I would love to see 3M obviously recover. A little bit of a boomer stock, so not really expecting crazy moves, but if we can get back above this little double top, triple top that we're dealing with over here, maybe a breakout above that could give us a little move into $100 or above $100 to 3M obviously on watch. Along with that, McDonald's also on watch over here, very close to all-time high, and kind of with the whole Ozempic problem, it made a little bit of a dip over here. Actually, that could be COVID 2020. Yeah, that could be COVID. I think this little dip over here was probably the Ozempic dips, and then you got the moves right back into the all-time high as the stock just has been on absolute heater on the monthly chart here. Here's the daily chart. A nice little earnings report could take us right back into the $300 area, going back into options AI. Let's see what they're expecting. They're expecting a move of just shy of 300. They're expecting a 3% move up to $281 over here, or a move down to $265.50 on McDonald's. So maybe not exactly as interesting as I want it to be, but something to keep an eye out for. Another stock, Coca-Cola, the Warren Buffett position, right? So boomer position. Don't expect craziness to happen. ATR of 77 cents. So one of the lowest ATR on my watch list tomorrow. Maybe, oh, I can do this. Just bring in the watch list screen. One of my lowest ATRs on the watch list tomorrow at 77 cents. So not really, it's not even highlighted. We might have to maybe highlight Eli Lilly actually. We'll highlight PayPal, because if they burn some shorts by taking out 75, 76, that might be something to keep an eye out for. Besides that, you know, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, 3M, not really too high priority of a trade tomorrow for us, but something to keep an eye out for, because they report, and if they report, they could give you an extra relative volume day, and anytime extra relative volume comes in, you can get double ATR type of moves and trade opportunities along with it. But Coca-Cola's expected move 1.9%, a zilch a nothing burger move, as we were just saying earlier about it. Usually Coca-Cola, as you guys can see, its last 3 earnings report has had a nothing burger move in it, and don't expect anything different from it. Don't expect anything different from it at all. The U.S. attempts to outlaw menthol cigarettes failed last week. For once, tobacco stocks looks good, like MO. Okay, MO, Altria. Altria making a little bit of a recovery. That's not bad. That they recently had an earnings report too. Philip Morris, what's their ticker? PAG. PM. Oh, that's a nice breakout on PM. I didn't even knew I drew those lines. Wow, that's a nice breakout on PM over there. Yeah, looks good on tobacco stocks. I mean, aren't these products kind of taking over? Who makes these? Aren't these kind of taking over right now? Who makes Zins? Originally from Sweden. Doesn't say the brand name anywhere. Well, I guess the brand name is Zonic, right? Originally from Sweden. Maybe we'll go back to full screen here, kind of Google it ourselves. Swedish Match. Subsidiary of Philip Morris. These have kind of blown up. Zins and Zonics. British American Tobacco. The Canadian one is the British American Tobacco, who owns the Imperial Tobacco. Okay, I guess this one doesn't matter because the more popular product, as everyone knows it these days, is Zyn, and these guys are made by Swedish Match, who's owned by Philip Morris apparently. Where's your owner? And these ones are really blowing up. So if that is the case, then you know, these are minty, menthols, and so on. PM could have a way better play out, because if they are the makers of Zins, I'm telling you, Zin's really blown up in the world, especially with like Tucker Carlson talking about Zin on Joe Rogan. I was like, what the hell's going on over here? Right, so that one really helps Zin the case a little bit more. I wonder how big of a bag he's getting from big tobacco. Tesla $50. We read that Elon would be the result of Howard Hughes and Henry Ford had a baby with the worst traits of both while having a crippling addiction to social media and ketamine. Momo is an Elon hater. We kind of said that already, but Momo just kind of wants to elaborate her point a little bit more. For those of you who love Elon, you can fight Momo in the chat. Narud, hey, why aren't you with Trader TV anymore? I remember you said you'll do a video about that. What happened? Are you still in touch with the colleagues from there? I said I was gonna do a video. You're right, but you know, it's not a good idea probably right now because I'm still using their software to trade and not their software. I'm still directly trading with you know, real trading props, so kind of throwing shade and putting it out on blast, what they did to me and how they deal with people would not really look good. And also, how bad would it look on me to just make a video right away after, you know, whatever happened? It would look like I am fishing for viewers or I'm fishing for a crowd and so on. So I kind of just figured, you know what, let me just stay away from all that nonsense. Let me just do my thing. Let me do my thing. I'll build my own audience. I'll slowly build everything I want to build on. I'll do what I usually do anyways, what I've always been doing. Talk my talk, show my trades, talk my stock stuff, enjoy with everything that I do. Put in more work for my own self, obviously. So now I'm putting in way more work than I did for them. Hopefully it pays out. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, hey, I learned a lot throughout this process. I'm learning now how to edit videos, which is crazy fun. How to edit short form videos, which is honestly not that short because these are like a minute long videos, and I need to learn how to be more entertaining on stream so I can make it more entertaining clips and so on, which will be obviously a little bit more task as I keep going throughout this journey. But hey, it's a learning process, and you guys are all here for that journey. So shout out to you guys who've been here for this from the start and watching me. It's the name of the game, Prad. Got an engagement farm. Good idea, Prad. It's your choice, but several people that day took your side. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. As I can see, you're in the chat over here every single day, TH. It means the world to me. Look, what they did obviously was not cool, but it's their job, right? They had to take care of their workplace. Whatever. They thought that what they were doing was the right thing for themselves. Might have worked for them, might not have worked for them. At the end of the day, everything that ends up happening is good for you. And I think what happened over there was honestly the best thing that could have happened for me, because I got to go to a better trading office. I got to learn way more about trading and actually learn the right things about trading. And I'm still, in that journey right now where my managers are, mad at me and they yell at me anytime I do something stupid. And when I do something right, they tell me to do that better and then, do more of it and take more sides and so on. None of which was existent at the old office anyways. At the old office, I was just a little bit of a show monkey, just told to go entertain people. No one really taught us how to trade over there. So now I'm actually learning how to trade, and things are just looking better and brighter for me. And now the entertainment side and the YouTube side, I'll take care of it by my own pace, by my own speed, and with the help of all of you beauty people in the chat over here. So thank you, all of you, obviously, for coming, hitting the like, hitting that share. And if you haven't already, hit that goddamn like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Ring that doorbell. Ring that notification bell. Don't ring my doorbell. Stay away from my doorbell. Ring that notification bell. Also yells at me for protein enough. You don't talk about protein with me too. What am I talking? Protein? Oh, her. Oh, gotcha. Talking to dieter. Gotcha. But yeah, I had a whole video ready to post. It just wasn't a good look to be like, oh, this is what they did. Oh, this is what this happened. And blah, 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 blah. And this is why you guys should watch me and not watch them. I was like, once I watched that video by myself, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not posting this. This sounds very petty. This sounds like absolute loser shit. And we're not doing this. Life always happens for you, not to you. Hey, it happens to you, but you gotta make the best out of it, right? Make the best out of it. Life gives you lemons, you squeeze the shit out of it, make some lemon juice and drink it. Drink that. It might be sour, but then you might have to go find some sugar and make that shit a little bit, it's juicy for you a little bit, right? Ringing that doorbell, ding dong. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Alani, with the daily $2 super chat. You're too kind. You're way too kind. But ladies and gentlemen, that's basically the watch list for tomorrow.
Ding dong bell.
Ding dong, ding dong. That's basically the watch list for tomorrow. We're going to be very excited to see how these stocks come out to play with and see what trades can give us the big dollar, the cheddar cheese, as the kids put it. Now, we could go watch a YouTube video, because SMB Capital did post a brand new YouTube video for us to entertain ourselves with. So we could go watch this, or we could just go play chess and call it a day. But I don't want to do that because we have not watched a good YouTube video in a long time now for trading. So I feel like we owe ourselves a good educational video. Now, obviously, TH is going to be hating the whole time. So that's going to be fun. TH hates SMB Capital for some reason, but we're gonna watch it. We're gonna learn from these guys, see if we learn something new. This video over here is about apparently how we use indicators wrong, leading and lagging indicators.
Ringing that doorbell. Ding dong bell.
That's the second time we heard that. Okay, we're gonna find out how indicators play out overall, and you know how to use indicators a little bit better. We've kind of seen a couple videos like this already from these guys, so this one's gonna be in addition to that, a 16-minute video. Maybe we can watch this one on 1.25 or 1.5 speed because we know that they're gonna talk so slow. So let's watch it.
But they don't realize they're doing it all wrong. Unfortunately, they don't understand that terms like leading and lagging are actually mathematically incorrect, and they don't know how to combine indicators for the best results. In this video, you'll learn exactly what you're doing wrong.
And let me turn on captions for you guys.
I'm Mike Bellafiore, and we're one of the top proprietary trading firms located in New York City since 2005, and proud to develop number 7 and even 8-figure per year traders. Watch, take notes, and learn from a professional proprietary trader on our desk so you can grow your trading account.
So there seems to be a huge misunderstanding about the terms leading and lagging indicators. In fact, these terms are mathematically inaccurate. Some traders pride themselves in only using leading indicators. Maybe you're one of them. Some people like to use everything, right? But we break these into buckets. But let's be real, nothing, and I mean nothing, including price action, is truly leading. So in this video, I'm going to outline the fundamental difference between what it means to be a leading or lagging indicator and demonstrate how to use them together to our advantage, and outline why it might be best to just throw these terms out altogether. And also the better approach to get indicators to work for our strategy. And at the end, I'll describe how I used indicators in a strategy to help improve the performance of my strategy. So let's first define leading and lagging and explore the difference between these two families of indicators. There's a clear line in the sand between leading and lagging, and that line in the sand has more to do with your specific application for the indicator than it has to do with the nature and the power of the indicator itself. So let me get into this. So we have our leading indicators, right? This could be RSI, a stochastic. So in theory, leading indicators anticipate. So they'll produce a signal that allows traders to
Really? I thought RSI was a lagging indicator.
Therefore, leading indicators serve as a heads up. But they can be noisy, of course, and they can be early, which in many cases is the same thing as being wrong. And you know, we should never blame an indicator for being wrong. Indicators are not traders or strategies. They're just math, just a data point, so we should forgive them. So leading indicators are usually overbought, oversold signals, right? Traditionally, this is how traders classify them. And I'll show in a bit how this might be misguided. Some examples of indicators that are thought to be leading are RSIs, stochastics, market breadth, a Bollinger Band squeeze, maybe even pivot points, trend lines, support and resistance, other price level indicators, things that can give us a heads up before a move happens. And then we have our lagging indicators, right? So things like exponential moving averages, MACDs. So we have, in theory, these lagging indicators that confirm, right? They produce a signal that allows traders to confirm a move after the move has started. Okay, so they're delayed. They're meant to remove noise, and they of course can also produce false signals, and you know they can give us some whipsaw, right? Just like all indicators can. So lagging indicators are usually trend indicators. They're usually some kind of average. So a moving average is the classic example of a lagging indicator. Some more examples of lagging indicators would be a MACD, right, which is a derivative of a moving average, an ATR trailing stop, maybe even your actual stop, right? Maybe VWAP, right, because that's an average as well. So what we want to do, if we're going to subscribe to this theory, is that we want to combine leading and lagging indicators, right? So they serve different purposes. So it would make sense for us to combine them. So we can combine them to help us anticipate, right? So flag a pending move with the leading indicator, and then remove noise and confirm with the lagging indicator to get a clear trigger signal that our move is underway. So let's, in this example, combine an RSI with a MACD to demonstrate this. So here we get the RSI oversold signal as we come into the low, and then after, price turns up and we get the trend confirmation from the MACD. Right? And if we look to the right on the chart, notice the overbought signal in the RSI gets completely run over by the strong price action here. And this happens a lot on single time frames in leading indicators. So is there a better way to think about this? In my opinion, absolutely. Right? So the key for me lies not in the indicator itself that we're using, but in the way that we're using the indicator. So let me explain that. So when it comes to the actual indicators, we could argue all day about which is lagging, which is leading, and which is better, but none of this matters to me. I don't find it productive to think of it this way. All indicators and all market-generated information, for that matter, are based on historical data. So of course, we all know that nobody has information about the future, and the best we can do is observe current values or measure a variable over a historical look-back period. So if we're looking at price action, we're looking at
Buddy's got $700 Apple headphones.
Bid and ask in the current prints. If we want to quantify more about the tape, we can measure volume on the bid and ask over a historical look-back period. And for volume, we can look at the last trade, the most recent minute, measure an average minute over look-back period. You get the point. So everything we're looking at has already happened because there is no future. So if we're looking at an indicator, whether it's measuring volume, price, market breadth, relative strength, we're measuring based on history. So this means that even our favorite indicators are deriving their signals based on the past, like never the future. So let me demonstrate in a second how the lead or the lag of the indicator just comes down to the time frame and the look back period used in the calculation, right? So I'll say it again, the difference is in their application, not their quality, speed, or predictive power. So let's compare some indicators that are thought of as leading to indicators that are thought of as lagging, and we'll kind of demystify this whole leading, lagging thing. Here's an intraday chart of NVIDIA with a MACD with default settings, right? That's 12, 26, and 9. And then a stochastic with default settings at the bottom. So 10, 10 for both periods. So this is a classic example of what is traditionally thought of as a
So is the whole point of this video just saying that it doesn't matter if it's a leading or a lagging, but it's the how you should combine a leading and a lagging to give you a better signal?
So price did reverse off the high after the stochastic.
Is that the whole point of this video?
You can also see that the MACD confirmed this turn after the fact at the point of the blue dotted vertical line. It lagged price and provided a signal quite late, about 4 bars after the turn. So what happens if we change these default settings in the indicators? What if we made the MACD faster and the stochastic slower? So let's change the MACD to a 583 setting, and we'll change the stochastic to a 53 setting. So now we can see that they're almost identical. In fact, both indicators turn down at the same time. They turn back up at the same time, right? So both marked in the blue vertical dotted lines there. So this demonstrates that the leading lagging effect has nothing to do with the indicators themselves. It has more to do with how fast or slow we make the settings and how we use the indicators. So neither indicator is inherently leading or lagging. Both are based on historical prices, which makes them both lagging. And if we want to be super literal about it, both represent current values of what they're measuring. So what do we do with this information? Why does this matter? Right. So here's my little soapbox moment. So we need to completely throw away our terminology leading and lagging indicators, clearly, and focus on the math behind each indicator and understand what it is measuring for the strategy that we're testing. Right, so know the math. I can
know
the strategy.
I can vibe with that.
That's it.
I can jive with that.
Simple, right? Don't even use an indicator if you don't have those questions, right? So for
yeah.
me, this helps me understand why I might use a specific indicator in a strategy or model. Every indicator, every tool, and statistics for that matter is a current value based on historical data. So this could be a current average, a percentage, a ratio, a special formula like RSI. So to me, the terms leading and lagging are not helpful. So let's kind of go over how I use indicators in a strategy and just like how I set this up in terms of my process. I look at the strategy first, and I ask the question, what needs to be quantified about this strategy? How can I measure the market dynamics at play? The market dynamics that are important to my strategy. And here's how I typically break down the different market dynamics. So here are a few. So we have trend, momentum, volatility, volume, areas of interest, market breadth, relative strength, and sentiment. And I want to combine signals that give me a context, maybe a heads up, and some confirmation, right? Or an entry trigger, an exit trigger. So I don't want to be measuring redundant variables. And every strategy is different. So these are going to change depending on the strategy. So here's a recent strategy that I tested, working on a model here. And I had a buy signal. The signal came when the stock gets above the 5-minute opening range. And I knew that this strategy alone wouldn't perform well with only this information, right? This is not nearly enough. So I asked myself, what if it's in an uptrend on the daily chart? What if it's doing higher than average volume? What if it's one of the strongest stocks in the market on that day? And what if the sector that it's in is also strong? And what if the market breadth in the overall market is also strong? So here I'm combining trend, volume, relative strength, and market internals.
Okay.
So I'll use a moving average to define the trend, RVOL to define the volume. I'll use ATR to define the relative strength, and the advanced decline line to define market breadth. So the key for me is that these indicators are specific to my strategy, and they are all measuring different market dynamics. So I combine them, and it might take some work to figure out the best ways to measure these dynamics, and then I'm able to improve my strategy. So this went from taking about 2,800 trades over 2.5 years to taking 700 trades. So these variables cut out more bad trades than good trades, and this still isn't the best strategy, and it's in sample.
That's pretty damn
but
good.
It's progress, right? This is just part of the process. So for me, the moral of the story is getting caught up in whether my indicator is leading or lagging and whether one is better than the other is counterproductive.
I think the secret of the juice was like just couple moments ago when right here when he talks about this part.
And it might take some work to figure out the best ways to measure these dynamics. It's one of the strongest stocks in the market on that breadth and market internals. So I'll use a moving average of strength specific to my strategy, and they are all measuring market breadth.
Right here, like setting a stock to have where it's like, you know, maybe holding above its 9 and its 21 EMAs. It has a higher than 5 RVOL at the very least. It has higher than $1 ATR. The advanced decline line for the overall market is, you know, at least in the positive end or in the down end, based on, you know, your shorts or longs. Let's say we're looking for the longs, the advanced decline lines, hopefully to the upside, and that sector is also strong, and you're trading the strongest stock in that sector. Also, something that we talked about yesterday, you know, on days like tomorrow, where before FOMC, when nothing exciting might happen, it might be exciting, but it also might not. On days like that, it's very useful to look for the stocks that are in the hottest sector. What sector is getting the most love? What sector is getting the most hate? What stock in that sector is getting the most love? What stock in that sector is getting the most hate? That's going to have the highest R-vol. That's going to give you a little bit better ATR on the day than normal. And if it's continuously selling off its 9 EMA, 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart, clearly it's being extra strong in that direction. You could even add relative strength index based on stocks that are relatively strong on the day, relatively weak on the day, to help you out. Volume, trend, all of this to help you combine, help you find that trade to trade on that day with. Something that we talked about yesterday.
So an indicator itself is never an answer to trading as a whole. They're not strategies. So we shouldn't really have opinions.
Holy shit, buddy.
Is never an answer to trading as a whole. They're not strategies.
Yo, this guy needs to untangle that wire. Holy smokes.
So we shouldn't really have opinions about which indicators are good or bad. But within a strategy, there might be an indicator that serves a specific role that helps improve the strategy. That's why I stopped putting so much weight on the indicators themselves and started thinking more about my strategy and how to define it.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you...
All right, that's a pretty good video. Basically talked about how, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a leading indicator or a lagging indicator. He kind of showed you an example of how a leading indicator could be lagging based on the settings that you're putting it into and how the way you're looking at it. So at the end of the day, all that matters really is a setup. Do you have a setup? How do you use this setup? Do you put it into work in a way where you know, it's profitable? Back test that setup. Use extra tools to back test it, such as maybe Trade Ideas or other tools out there that can help you back test it. And then, you know, use the right indicator to help you find the stock that you want to attack on that day that fits within your framework, within your setup, within your playbook, and so on. So all of it makes sense. I kind of agree with, you know, not arguing with people over, oh, it's a lagging indicator, oh, it's a leading indicator, oh, my indicator is better than your indicator. None of that garbage really matters. At the end of the day, do you have a playbook? Do you have a defined entry system and an exit system for your profits? Do you have a defined exit system for your losses? If you do, can you back test it? Yes, the answer is yes, because once you have a system that's defined, it's very easily back testable. And then go ahead and back test it, see what the statistics are. If the numbers don't speak for themselves, then you might need to start tweaking your setup a little bit and start building a better system for yourself. That, in a nutshell, is honestly trading. Trading is not as hard. It's where people start deviating from their systems, deviating from their plans, making up new plans on the way, breaking their own discipline systems, breaking their own rules. They might have a stop, but they start moving their stop lower and lower. They start losing a little bit more money instead of the originally planned amount of money. So make a plan, stick to the plan, do not deviate from it. Don't let your emotions come in and start trading for you either, because that's a big problem also for traders. And that basically is trading, guys. It's not that hard. We make it hard for ourselves. And that was all she wrote for today's stream. Hopefully you guys had some fun today. We had a lot of fun talking about all things market, kind of talking about the earnings calendar for next week or for this week, talking about FOMC a little bit. We'll talk more in depth about FOMC tomorrow, so make sure you show up for that at 8 p.m. We'll also talk about Amazon and AMD earnings report coming out, so that will be very interesting to see how they move and what trade opportunities they set up with. And also we have a IPO coming out on FOMC day, Wednesday, so we'll talk about that tomorrow, do a little bit more research about that too, so make sure you show up to that. But for those of you who are done with today, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And now it's time for chess. So let's head on over to our favorite part of the night. We love chess so much right now because we've been absolutely killing it. Today, we actually played one of my buddy who's 1100. The first game, I actually made a mistake and I asked my buddy to rematch, so he gave me a draw. That was good. He gave me a draw. The second game, I actually won. And you know what? Let's go to the full screen. I actually won this game. And I won like 16 points. Let's show you this game. Why can't I hear anything? Unmute. And let's turn back the music on. Okay. Look at this. Okay. Textbook, 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 textbook. Why that? But he could just do this though. But I guess it threatens that and it locks him up over there too. But then I could just go here. But then he could do that and then I'm kind of screwed and I have to do this. But so I don't like that. I'm happy with what I did. Okay, textbook. Then I take back. He takes back. Oh, why over there? And why not here? Okay, go here. Then I can do this or this. No. Then I can do this. No. This kind of gives me this or this, which is kind of useless too. But either way, doesn't matter. Move out of problem. Oh, he should have done that. But this was a mistake for him. He should have probably done this. But that was probably a mistake for him overall. Okay. Move my queen out here. Instead of doing that. Yeah, I could have made a threat to the king. But then he could have done that though. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm happy with what I did. Take. I take. I could have taken with the horse also. That's true. Either way. He takes. I put my horse to safety. I don't know how to put my horse to safety, but I put him to safety. But apparently I could have done that because he's watching that. So that could have been safe over there. Okay. He moves this to here to check my king. Overlook a better way to win material. Oh, he could have moved it to here. That's right. But this is kind of useless because I just do this. Exactly. Great move because I kind of fork it in a way. He takes that. I take back. He takes me. What do I do here? Oh, I'm supposed to move over, but instead I put my thing over here because then I'm kind of putting him in danger also. And if he takes this, I can take this or I can take that. So I think, honestly, I did a better move. Your rook is undefended. That's right. He does take my rook over there. And then here's, I do this. That's right. I do that, but he tells me to do that. I didn't want to do that, however. I'm happy with making this decision. He should have taken that. He missed out. He takes my queen. He's happy trading the queen where he could have taken that. That's right. He should have taken that. He messed up on that position over there. So he's happy trading queens. We trade queen. He castles. Why this? Oh, because then I could have taken that. And then I could have checked him. And then he has to go back there. And I could have kind of ended the game. Oof. Ooh, okay, okay. That's scary. That's crazy. Anyways. That. This. This. I protect my knight instead of taking my knight and giving up my knight. He takes my knight. I take his knight. Moves 2 over. I move 1 over. He moves that over. I make 2 over to give this line over here. Sorry, this line. He sets up this for this. And then I set this up. Or no, I move 1 over. Okay, okay. I move 1 over. I forgot. I move 1 over. Instead of letting him kill me. He takes. I take back. Oh no, I take back like this. Okay, yeah, I take back like that. He does that. I move 1 over. He comes down. He puts this in danger. So I move this and I put this guy in safety. He does this. I'm setting up basically for this path over here. I'm kind of planning for this, right? I'm planning for take this and then I do this or something like that. And if he doesn't, then I take this and then I take this. Or if he takes this, I take him with the rook. I'm planning for the check with the rook at the moment. He does this, but I can't take because he's got this, however. So I just move 1 over. He takes my thing over there. But here... No, not here, not here. Here, I put him in danger. And I have this in danger. And I have this in danger right now, right? So he moves that over, makes a big mistake. So I take his rook. He screws up. He realizes that he messages me. He goes, oh shit, I kind of messed up over there. He does this. I take. He takes. I take. Check. He moves over. I put this guy here to save this guy. Oh, I could have just moved him over and done that too. I didn't recognize that. I was worried about what to do there. Okay, okay. Now he's threatening my rook. I move my rook over one. Brings this over. Here was a mistake because here I could have taken that rook right there. I mess up. I move one over. He sends his rook to the other side. I put his king in check. Moves his king over. Wait, why was this good? You're threatening to win a bishop. Okay. Here he moves this over here again. And then I come back and I take that. And this is where I start winning the game. That was genius, right? That was genius, right? Oh, I was so close to losing that. But my buddy messed up a little bit because he thought... he thought it was normal and not rated. And we played a rated game. So that was a little bit of a mistake there. Alright, today's puzzle. We kind of didn't know that there was a daily puzzle. So I'm interested to do the daily puzzles now instead of just doing the 5 daily puzzles we get. So we're going to do the daily puzzles. Move the cam. Thank you, Dieter. I forgot. I should have probably moved the cam way earlier when I was showing all the moves that we were doing for my friend and me that we were doing against each other. But now, guys, the rating is 416. We were 280. Start off the week, we were at 280. We're putting in work. We're putting in work. White to move. Wow, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I was thinking about this, like doing this, but then he could just do that. So that didn't make sense. Or how about this, but he could just do that. But that makes sense. I'm a genius. Wow, that took no time at all. All right, puzzle. Our 5 daily puzzles, black to move. This is a little bit harder. I probably have to move my queen somewhere. Haha. White to move. The problem with these puzzles are, I kind of understand that they're kind of 1 move puzzles or 2 move puzzles. So it doesn't really teach me a lot, but it kind of teaches me like how to look for that end game situation once you're there. So I guess that's cool. But, you know, it doesn't really teach me a lot, as much as at least I want to learn kind of. How's this check though? Can't he just move here? This is not a check. Weird. Okay. White to move. But then can't he take that? Oh yeah, he can. I got this. Nice. Nice. And he can't go here either. Gotcha. Black to move. Was it check? Can we go back? Okay, I think at the end of it we can go back. What in the fuck is this? Oh. Oh, right. I thought my king started here. I didn't know that. Okay, that puzzle was a little stupid. That puzzle was a little stupid. Can we get the list of the puzzles again? I want to go back to the other puzzle from earlier. Oh, I guess I can't. The queen would put the king in checkmate. But the queen was here. And the king was here. And the king could have just gone one over. There was nothing here. And there was a rook here blocking... Oh, was there a bishop here blocking this path? Was there a bishop here blocking this path? Maybe that bishop was blocking this path. I think he was. In that case, okay, that makes sense. Because the king was here, he could have moved... I don't know. I don't know. Alright, anyways. Let's play with the 417 rating now, chat. Queen's pawn. Wop 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 wop. Really, buddy? Do I hang my... Nah. El Kakui? This guy thinks he's Tony Ferguson? Calm down there, buddy. You're not Tony Ferguson. You're not him. Is there something else that I could kill him with? I don't want to have to screw up my castle. Alright, whatever. His queen's dead. His queen's dead. Mastermind. I'm screwing him up, boy. Forked. This is a worth trade. That trade's worth it. Do I take the pawn or do I develop? Let's develop because I got this over here. If he takes that, I can come in with this. What do I do here? Kind of need to start using my rooks and my queen here, but I still I don't have a master plan really. Take this, he takes that. Now I have him pinned. Just eat, eat, eat. Okay, this guy better resign because he's just wasting my time now. Give me my free points, dude. Just resign, dude. Get over with it. Thank you. Thank you. Easy. Easy. Demoted. We demoted this guy from 400 to 395. We're now at 425. Crystal League? Boy, we're coming for that legendary league, okay? Legendary league. Okay, players leagues. Can we see what leagues there are? We're at the bottom. Oh no, no, you start here. Joe, we're almost at the top of the division. That's the bottom. Wood, stone, bronze, silver. We were at bronze and silver not long ago. We're now in Crystal League. Soon we're about to be elite and champion. Yo, let's go, chat. Legendary. Legendary. We're telling you, man. I'm telling you, I'm cracking the code. We played that perfect. 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 misses. Perfectly. Come on now. Plus 25 victory with 25 moves. Come on now. Didn't even need to put him in checkmate. Buddy said I quit. Easy clap. Easy clap, chat. Let's go. That's how we like to do it. Hey, you come for the stock talk, but you stay for the chess. You come for the stock talk, but you stay for the chess. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all that. Man, we've been getting so much better at chess, and we're getting so much better at trading too. Life is just getting better and better every single day as we go it. But the goal is just to improve 1% every single day, and as long as you're doing that, you're on the right path, ladies and gentlemen. So let's focus on that. And right now, we're doing it very, very successfully. I wish you guys a great rest of your night. Enjoy your Monday night. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome opportunity in the market. So make sure you kill it and come back to me at 8 o'clock where we talk about all the rest of the opportunities that are there for the FOMC day. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a very good night. TraderPrad out. Ciao. On that great side, markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow, as you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code Prad15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.